Alright guys, let's talk a little bit about Xbox Game Pass and what they got going on, what they're doing, some early access games that are on PC that I know you guys want to play, and why we may be able to see some of these things drop on Xbox Game Pass, and what PlayStation is trying to do to compete with this whole thing. Now, Xbox Game Pass is accepting early access games, and if you don't know what early access games are, they're basically unfinished games that, are still being developed, but there's literally thousands of them on Steam, and some of them are really, really good, like 7 Days to Die. That is an early access game, so this is just opening the door for a bunch of games to come over here. Alright, now the early access games are going to say Game Preview, alright, so you can see at the top there, it does say Game Preview. That's how you're going to know it's an early access game, or one way that you'll know. Here's a new one, Anvil. I don't know. The reviews on this are mixed. It's not really the point. It's just one of them. I'll show a couple that are on Xbox. I'm not going to sit there and go through every single game. So this is Anvil. It's an early access game on Game Pass, and if you read the description, it says the game is a work in progress. Things may or may not change. It's basically an unfinished game, and they warn you guys, purchasing this only if you're comfortable with playing a game that is unfinished. This is basically the definition of early access, and you can see it's playable on PC, Xbox One, and then the whole Xbox Series X/S. So. Alright, Craftopia, this is another one, guys, that's on Game Pass. Actually has really good reviews, so decent, cool crafting game right there that you guys can play. That's an early access one. And just in general, they got a lot of pretty cool games that you can download for free. Now, we're going to take a look at what PlayStation's doing to try to compete with this whole thing. Obviously, Xbox got some pretty big exclusives with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. And now accepting early access games. Ooh, man, Xbox could just literally blow the doors off of PlayStation by accepting a few certain games, which we'll talk about here. So this is Everspace 2. That's another decent one. Let me find this article for you so you can see what PlayStation is doing. Hold on one sec. Alright, here we go, I got it. So Sony forms PlayStation PC, strengthening its relationship with PC gaming. I was actually going to do a video on this thing, but I chose not to. So this is pretty big. What this means exactly is they're just basically forming a bond with PC, and they're trying to get their games over to PC. They're just not thinking like, okay, let's get some of these early access games onto our platform. Rather, let's get some of our games onto the PC platform so we can make more money. But they're missing the whole freaking thing here, because there's literally like 5 top games on early access that would make a huge freaking difference for either Xbox or PlayStation. It doesn't matter which console, and they're basically at war right now, these two. So let's jump on, let's go over to Steam here and check out some stuff. Alright, so we're on Steam. We're going to jump on early access. One thing to keep in mind with EA is there's literally over 6,000-7,000 games, and a lot of them are freaking trash. A lot of them are just asset flips. Then there's a decent amount that are really good, and then there's a few top tier ones that are just really, really good. So here's that game Anvil that we were just first looking at the beginning of the video. That's up here, a new early access game. So you're now seeing that both on Xbox and on Steam. War Tales, I believe that was another one that's on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. Craftopia, okay, we already saw that. Okay, guys, so probably this would be on the top of the list is Valheim. Valheim is an early access game, thousands of reviews, overwhelmingly positive, multiplayer, open world, survival game, absolutely great. If this thing were to drop on Xbox or PlayStation, it would be freaking huge. Myth of Empires, this is a new early access game, mostly positive. I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube about this. It's an MMO game, but people want an MMO game with like guns and stuff like that. This is a little bit different, but we may try this game too in the future. What about 7 Days to Die? Like, it is an early access game, it says it right here. I've heard a lot of talk about when the game goes gold, they're going to transfer it to console, they're going to make a whole new game for consoles, but I mean, if it's already early access, it is a possibility. Why couldn't this thing just drop on Game Pass? The door's already open for it. I don't know the logistics of it, I'm just saying it could happen. World War III, this is a new early access game. It does have mixed reviews, but it's a first-person tactical shooter like Battlefield and Call of Duty, and it's not bad. Like, it's an early access game that I'm sure a lot of you guys would love to try out. That's the bottom line. So Subsistence. I've done videos on this right here. This is an awesome open world survival first person game, single player or co-op with your friends, and a lot of reviews, mostly positive, really solid game. And Cold Games, he already told me he's tried bringing this to Xbox, so the door is just completely open for this thing to come to Game Pass. What about Myth Survival? You guys may have seen that on the channel. This is one of the better open world survival zombie games. I think it still needs a little bit of work, but the door's open now for you guys maybe to see this. I'll definitely keep an eye too on any of this stuff if it does drop on Game Pass. Look, Deadside, man, if you guys have ever heard of Deadside, it's almost like a mini DayZ game, I guess, or another DayZ game. So we'll give some love to Deadside here, which I may also try in the future. SCUM. SCUM would be freaking huge. SCUM is very positive, open world, massive multiplayer game. Kind of like the day before, honestly. Like you look at DayZ, you got the day before coming up with all this hype. You already have SCUM, which is an amazing freaking game that I still need to try. I still need to get on this. If this game was to come to console, it would be wildly popular, without a question. So you got 7 Days to Die, you got VALHEIM, you got SCUM. These are just a few guys that would be game changers in my opinion, and they would be some of the more popular games that would be being played. And we'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye on it. If any like really good early access games do come to the Game Pass, I'll definitely do a video and let you guys know. But if you're on Xbox now, just keep an eye out for the game preview ones. When they say game preview, that's early access. They don't have the same return policy as Steam, so you got to keep that in mind before you buy it. All right, I'm going to wrap this thing up. It's been a little bit. If you could drop a like on this, definitely subscribe. I'll keep you guys informed. Let me know what you think, and I'm out of here. Peace.